It's Olivia. I want to start off my senior speech by kind of telling you guys a little bit about my high school journey, but still I need some help. So can someone give me 2 verbs, please? Anyone, literally just raise your hand. Tommy.
Running. Run.
Run. Okay, I need another one. 2. Anyone?
Crying.
What?
Crying.
Okay. Alright, and next I need 2 adjectives. Literally anybody.
Purple.
Okay, purple. And then one more. Fiona, I'm calling on you.
Soft.
Okay. Alright, and I need 2 more verbs. Liza.
Jumping.
Okay. And one more. Kendall.
Laugh.
And last but not least, I need a plural verb. Shout it out.
Horses.
Oh, okay. That's perfect. All right. And here's the story of my high school experience. So high school is a place where you run with your friends and cry with your family. You'll look back on memories of purple times and soft times. Throughout your time in high school, you will learn all sorts of things. I learned how to jump and how to laugh, but most importantly, I learned something about myself. I learned that I really, really like horses. And that's the story of my high school experience. Thank you. Okay, so obviously none of that was true, but I wanted to ease the tension a little bit for my senior speech by creating that little Mad Lib. So in actuality, my high school experience was like any other public school student. I was a little freshman in a big school, not knowing what the future held, but with hopes leading in all different directions. I had these 2 awesome older sisters. They were on the high school soccer team, they were in so many clubs, and they had this awesome friend group. I wanted my high school experience to be just like theirs. However, there was so little I knew at the time because I just wanted to be so perfect, but nobody's perfect, right? Let's just say that my high school experience was nothing but different from theirs. I ended my freshman year hating everything about it, like quite literally everything, and I'll leave that part of my high school journey at that. At the end of my freshman year, my parents were nagging at me to look at some other schools with them, but I was not interested. I proposed a brilliant idea to my parents. I told them that I thought I should switch to online school because then I would never have to face any of my problems like ever again. But surprisingly, they were like not on board, so that didn't work. And then they dragged me here to Elgin Academy for a tour. My parents made me put on nice clothes and a smile on my face. That smile did not last. And even though I was resistant, I showed up. We walked through the halls of a school so foreign to me. I mean, it was smaller than my elementary school. The class sizes were a quarter of my smallest classes at my public school. I wasn't totally hating it until I got to the basement of Ryder Center. When I went in to the IFA class, all the kids were my age, and I looked at them, and I swear they were glaring at me. Like, I swear. And when we got into the car after the tour, I told my parents I was never stepping foot on that campus again because they hated me. I swear they hated me. Like 2 of them looked like they wanted to beat me up. And little did I know at the time that those people would become some of my closest friends over the next few years. Over the next few months, I was dead set on going back to public school after my parents shot down my fabulous idea of doing online school, which, by the way, during COVID, I realized I hated more than public school, so thank God for that. And over the summer, I didn't have like an aha moment that was like, Olivia, this is the school you need to go to. This is your destiny. This is your fate. Instead, it just changed, and I literally cannot tell you why. It just changed. And I told my mom that I didn't think Elgin Academy was such a bad idea after all. And the next thing I knew, she was calling my public school to withdraw me. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And she was like, it was like she was waiting for this moment to happen. And for the longest time, it felt like I was forced into that decision. But in actuality, it was my decision all along that I just had to come to terms with. I just wanted to so badly have this high school experience like my older sisters, but I realized that high school is not a one-size-fits-all category, and nothing is. fast forward to my sophomore year, it was my first period, and I was the only girl. I told myself, Olivia Sophie Welsh, you have made a huge mistake. Of course, that class eventually became my favorite. I mean, who knew? Also on the first day of school, a boy came up to me and asked, hey, are you the new girl Olivia? You're one of Taylor's friends, right? I proceeded cautiously agreeing to what he said. The next words that came out of his mouth were the most bizarre I've ever heard. He said, I told Taylor to invite you, but I guess I'll just ask you myself. Want to come to my house this weekend for the back to school party? Again, I spontaneously agreed without thinking, and yeah, so 2 months later, that boy became one of my best friends and my boyfriend still to this day. Again, who knew? And now my favorite story about my entire high school experience. It happened on the second day of my sophomore year at a brand new school. The girl from orientation day came up to me, and to be completely honest, I cannot remember her name. At the time. And she dragged me over to her friend group for lunch, and they were all talking at the same time. It was like bam, 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 million things coming at me at once, and I was like, whoa, slow down. Eventually, I put it together that they were going to Six Flags that weekend, and they wanted me to go with them. I said, heck yeah, no hesitation. And then I was like, I paused myself and I thought, I don't know any of their names. I can't drive. None of them can drive either, so I'm gonna have to ask my mom, and I don't have any money for a ticket. So that was all kind of a problem. And then I snapped back to reality after my train of thought was finished. And before I could say anything else, the girl from orientation day, who I soon learned was Kiara, said, hey Olivia, can you drive Leela and Shreya? I had no idea who Leela or Shreya were. But again, I said, heck yeah, without thinking. Everything worked out in the end, and though at the time I didn't know it, I found my people that weekend. Those same people I've grown up with these past 3 years and become closer with more so. We call ourselves a dictatorship. Don't worry about it, it's a long story. But I couldn't be more thankful for them. Elgin Academy has been completely different from any of the assumptions or expectations that I had when initially coming here. But I couldn't be more glad that I did. Because as I said before, high school is not a one-size-fits-all category. So maybe that Mad Libs I made in the beginning is or was someone's high school experience. But I couldn't be more grateful that Elgin Academy became mine. 4 years ago, I could never have imagined myself here or where I'm going this fall, but I couldn't be more excited to pursue the sport that I love and a place that I adore at the College of Charleston on the D1 equestrian team. So thank you to my parents for quite literally everything. I would never have been able to do any of this without you guys. Thank you to my older sisters, Julie and Hannah, for bossing me around and showing me a good time. To my little sister, Phoebe, for being a pain in my butt, but being the most entertaining person I've ever met. To my pets, aka the Welsh Zoo, for providing me comfort and joy. And to the rest of my family for always being what family is truly about. Thank you to Alex Richardson for always being there for me. My 2 childhood best friends, Kira King and Mia Mylan, for always having my back. To the dictatorship, Liza, Berlin, Shreya, Kendall, Leela, Kiara, Fiona, Carter, Nikhil, Oscar, Jono, and Brianna. Thank you guys for being the best group of friends I could ever ask for. Thank you to the rest of the senior grade and quite honestly the rest of the high school for being such a great school. Now for my teachers. Thank you especially to Mrs. Lau for pushing me through regular chem into AP Chem, starting in class with all boys. It's been a difficult experience, but we did it together. Thank you to T for always pushing me to be my best and dealing with my shenanigans. Thank you to Miss Coopermon for also tolerating me wherever you are. Thank you. Thank you to Miss Clements for sparking my love for photography and videography. Thank you to my advisor, Miss Bear. And last but not least, oh wait, just kidding. Mr. Rafferty, thank you for being a good college counselor. Last but not least, thank you, Senora, for taking me to the hospital in the middle of nowhere on a school trip in the off-grid part of Minnesota. You dragged me across the lake. I'm thankful for that. Thank you. All right, last but not least, I want to thank my whole show team at Deerwood Farm for being a second family to me, and to my 2 trainers, Heather and Aaron Hirsch, for encouraging and supporting me throughout my entire riding career. Thank you to all of you. I wouldn't be the person I am today without any one of you. And now on to Carter. Thank you.